Hello everyone, and today we're going to be talking about this YouTube purge and how it's affecting content creators and where it's going to go from here. So first, what I'm going to tell you guys is, if you don't know, the Anti-Defamation League and the Southern Poverty Law Center are public trusted flaggers for YouTube. Ordinarily, this wouldn't be as terrifying as a thought if the Trusted Flagger program wasn't going on a witch hunt for all those who would speak ill about YouTube, its practices, or against its narrative that is trying to push forward. Mark Dice had recently done a video in which he had expressly brought up the fact that his videos had been taken down systematically by YouTube, put down with community guideline strikes. And he is one of many, like Andy Worski, Sinatra Says, Suit Yourself, several other people that you may also watch. And this was part of a thing that YouTube admitted, was that YouTube pulled right-wing channels. Mistakenly, they say. Except, here's a problem with that. If YouTube's new moderators mistakenly pull right-wing channels, that means that right-wing channels were all put into a box, or they had a tag of some sort. They had some kind of defining metric against them, so that somebody could pull the plug on right-wing channels. Just right-wing channels, too. This is a terrifying thought, because, alright, right-wing channels is a tag. What else is a tag? Is it left-wing channels? Is it BLM? Is it pro-YouTube rhetoric? Pro-ADL? Pro-SPLC? Like, what else could also be a tag? Now, to give more explanation onto what the ADL and what the SPLC, what those groups are. The ADL is the Anti-Defamation League, which basically is a group that was created to stop anti-Semitism. They have since kind of moved forward and become a civil rights advocacy group to basically police those who would speak hateful or biased commentary. And then there's the SPLC, or the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is a group that is explicitly anti-hate speech. In fact, the Southern Poverty Law Center has been known to categorize and keep track of quote-unquote hate groups in the United States. And this can range from all types of different things. They have this lovely little hate map, as they call it, on their website. And you have a whole bunch of different categories. You've got, your skinheads, your anti-Semites, the KKK, the anti-immigration. And weird thing in here is that the hate groups seem to be arbitrary. You can see that there's a couple other groups and a bunch of different icons for each one of these groups. One of them that I found was rather interesting was an anti-immigration hate group that they have listed here, which is the American Border Patrol. I'm sorry, but that's not a hate group. That's their job, is to prevent illegal aliens from crossing the border into a sovereign nation of which they are not citizens. They are not anti-immigrant, as they have no business dealing with the actual immigration process by which somebody can become a citizen of the United States. Their job is to police the border to prevent unauthorized entry. But while you may say, "Oh yeah, that is correct," so they take it a step further, and in their anti-immigrant hate groups, they have Americans for Legal Immigration. They have Legal Immigrants for America. What the fuck? those people clearly aren't anti-immigrant. Those people are pro-legal immigrant, which makes me think that what you mean by anti-immigrant is anti-illegal immigrant. Based on this kind of information, since it's not anti-immigration that you are saying, as per Legal Immigrants of America and Americans for Legal Immigration, you oppose those protecting the borders to prevent illegal immigrants, and you consider it xenophobic for publishing racist propaganda and or confronting or harassing immigrants and their supporters. With all this information, the SPLC is for illegal immigrants. Just simple as that. So that's them. That's a group that is policing YouTube videos. That is a group that is policing what you upload onto YouTube, what gets monetized, what gets viewed by your audience, and that's fine, according to YouTube's trusted flagger program. Several people have come out and explained in their own words and through their own experiences how this kind of change has affected them and how it might force them to adjust what they do in the future. People like Andy Worski, who put up a video on Twitter. Sinatra Says put up a video. Mark Dice put up a video. You are driving content creators away from your platform. But these content creators are not solely reliant on the YouTube platform to talk to their audience. We can see that has already changed with the emergence of CRTV. Louder with Crowder has a channel there, and it has a channel on YouTube. They have subscriptions. Several creators have already gone to a subscription service. You have Patreon, Maker Support, all these other forms of income in which the audience basically pays what you as YouTube refuse to. And this is all based on the premise that ad revenue is driving the community to either approve or disapprove of a certain topic or content. But we know that's not true because enough people saying words at a company has already been proven to drive away partnerships. Look at Dick's Sporting Goods with the NRA. All it took was a couple people emailing, tweeting, calling, whichever. Enough pressure has forced them away from this company. But you, as YouTube corporate, don't care about the fact that you are partnered with a group that promotes the idea of illegal immigrants. You don't care that the group is backwards thinking and is hypocritical in every step of the way, because you still get the money from the corporations. And I know this to be true because YouTube recently launched YouTube TV. What is YouTube TV? Well, it's the same thing as fucking Hulu and Netflix TV, and it's just YouTube has a certain partnership now with a whole bunch of news sites and then some entertainment, which basically just means that congratulations YouTube, you've just become another way to put out media content that's already been professionally produced by corporations, by other media companies, and this is fine to you. But what's interesting is that YouTube and Hulu and Netflix have one very key difference. Whereas Hulu and Netflix are actors and professionals in the field who are producing a content with actual actors and with studios and stuff like that, YouTube is almost exclusively, with some differences or minor exceptions, are all people. Just people. Some people have other jobs. Some people do this as a hobby. For the purposes of this statement, I'm going to call them all civilian creators as opposed to professional creators. Yes, I understand that they have professionalism, and some of them have made this their job, therefore making them professionals, but it's easier to differentiate. So by YouTube going this way, by trying to make themselves another media outlet online, they have pulled away from what they originally were built on, which was the idea of broadcast yourself, like I mentioned in my first video since I came back. They have essentially gotten too big for their britches. The small creator doesn't matter. Why? Because ABC pays us. If you've ever been curious, YouTube has an active partners page that you can go look through, and it's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of partners across the world. So when you think about it, and you're making a video, just sitting in your apartment, talking to a camera, maybe with a headset mic, or talking to a webcam, and you're hoping that one day YouTube will be like, you know what, this content is pretty good. Let's put them up a little bit. Add them, get them some more exposure. No, they're not going to. Because who are you? Who am I? Why would they care? You have ABC News. You have BBC News. Why would they give a shit about the content that I put out or what another small creator puts out? They won't. They don't. The only way to gain notoriety at this point, as it seems, is to have a controversy. That's the only way that people actually get to know who you are on YouTube. Be the forefront of a controversy. Have articles written about you. Unfortunately, this usually means that you'll also get branded as a racist, anti-Semite, xenophobe, whatever. But that is almost what the state of YouTube has brought a lot of us to. But there is a silver lining to it all. Some people have been throwing around the idea of making their own websites, hosting their own videos there, creating a subscription service, much like CRTV. And this is honestly a genius idea. This is going to be the way that things go as we go forward in YouTube, in online media, in content creation. It's going to be eventually people are going to have to run away back to a bunch of their own sites until we find one that respects us all as content creators and actually we are able to come together as a community again. Because right now, YouTube isn't building a community. It is dividing and conquering communities individually. Now, certain creators they cannot take on. PewDiePie and Logan are expressly immune from a lot of what YouTube can actually do to them because their fan base is so large that no matter where those two go, they will always have a following. But smaller channels like, under 1 million subscribers, if someone disappears, the only way they can really talk to them is through Twitter. Maybe, if Twitter hasn't blocked them already, or is censoring their tweets. But this is the state of it all now. After this recent purge, it has become all too obvious to content creators who were personally hit with strikes, or those who know those were hit with strikes, or who have watched videos. Honestly, YouTube is pretty contemptuous of their audience. They know what's up. They're not all stupid. Eventually, advertisers will see enough of these videos talking about how YouTube is going the wrong way. And those advertisers are going to have to think really, really hard about whether or not they want their names associated with a brand like YouTube, who honestly couldn't give a shit about their customers.